So this is what we see right now for processing times. So for rural, on average, we are seeing 8 months for this case got approved. For high unemployment, we are seeing 11 months. First of all, my first impression is these numbers are much lower than pre-RA cases. So we all know, like before the RA, the 526, easily it takes 3 or 4 years for them to get approved or adjudicated even by USCIS. Right now, it's not on average, it's less than a year, so which is very fast, way better in terms of processing time. But also we are seeing the difference between rural and high unemployment right now. We are seeing the priority processing is in action. But what is misleading here, a little bit misleading here in the data is the gap between rural and high unemployment cases, the processing time. Right now, the gap is only 3 months. But I would like to highlight this. This is based on the case that have been approved. If you look at the right-hand side, the bullet point here, there are a lot of cases are still pending. So if you look at the rural areas, 61% of the cases are still pending. But if you compare that with the high unemployment category, over 90% of the cases are still pending. That means USCIS adjudicated more and more rural cases, and most of the HUA cases, they're still pending. And by looking at those pending cases, most of the cases have been pending for over 16 months. That means by the time that those HUA 526E cases got approved by USCIS, the processing time is going to be increased from 11 months. It's just because the reasons, because why now is 11 months, is just because 9% of those lucky investors, what I call them, they got approved in a very fast, very fast manner. But most of the cases under HUA, they're still pending. So it's hard to say what's the true processing time of the HUA because they approved so few cases under this category.
I see. And I'm curious if you have any data from other IUSA members on this, but do you think mandamus suits have had an impact on this approval speed? Without those, would it be longer, or what data can you share on that?
So we do not have any data on mandamus, unfortunately, but what we are seeing right now is more and more investors, they are considering mandamus. I mean, if you look at pre-RA, it seems like the only way to get your 526 approved is through mandamus. But right now, we are not seeing the same trends in post-RA investors because right now, investors are still waiting patiently. But if more and more cases are filed that they are pending for so long, especially for the HUA cases, I believe more and more cases, more and more investors, they will file their mandamus. So we will be seeing more data from this category so we can update our analysis.